Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. With me this week, I have Kyle, the GM of Team Rocket, Neil, the GM of what's your team name? Sorokin These Nuts. That's right, and Corey, the GM of Saucier Pass. Thanks for joining
What's
me,
going
guys.
on?
Everyone knows me. I'm your commissioner and champion, Team Ramrod. Um, it's getting closer, boys. This is the week we find out whose name is added onto this beauty. I would love to dominate this side of this trophy, have three of the four spots. It would feel real nice, but I guess let's get into some results from last week first. Big matchup. It says 8-5 between Team Ramrod and Sauce Pass, but this was like a 6-6, 6-5 game all the way up until like the final minutes of that game on Sunday. With my waiver wire pickup potted me two goals, included the GWG, which kind of put the nail in the coffin. Kyle, why don't you tell me about this? What happened?
I think I'll pass this over to Corey because I think he
Yeah,
probably
why
knows
not?
this in depth.
Man, we were talking the whole time, me and Corey, like throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
It was a good week. My trash goalie is carrying me to have a chance, but it's not like I don't even feel like Shane not earned it, but like his team didn't have to work for us for sure. We both didn't put up great stats. Um,
Offensively, no.
Matthews definitely helped carry the way. The 10-minute misconduct at the end put the nail in the coffin for sure because I was tight. Um, yeah, it was a good week. It was a good week. Unfortunate, but you know, move
He
on
didn't
to
even
next
do
year.
much, Matthews. He was just out there because
I know.
they didn't want to sort. They threw everyone out. Here's 10 minutes for standing around.
Yeah,
I'll take it. Neil
yeah.
caught
My
me. Neil caught me talking in the chat on the Matthews. He messages me, "Is that you writing in there?" Like, yeah, I'm looking for those pibs. Are they happening?
made a big difference. So
It
yeah,
did.
my team did not come out to play this week, and yeah, good on you. Another finals for you.
It's a good week. And we talked, like I said, we talked several times throughout the weekend. You know, it was so close. Really, either way, it's a good matchup, good season, right? So, I got fortunate on the right side here, and I'm moving on again for the fourth straight year. Team Ramrod is going to the finals, boys.
Damn.
Oh, fucking Sean.
It's not Sean's fault.
Yes, let's all hate Sean for this. This other matchup though ended closer than I thought it would. I thought this was like I know Nick's never out, he had a chance, but I mean, look at most of the week, it was like 9-3, like it was really lopsided. Then ended 7-6 on Sunday, and Dan did something. He picked up a goalie and sat him on the bench just so that Nick couldn't pick him up on Sunday. It was a very good strategic move. But now he has that guy on his roster, and he's probably not getting a game this week, so he has to decide when he's
They
going.
have a back to back.
They have
They
a
do
back
have
to
a
back,
back to
Yeah,
back. Yeah, they're playing 4 games this week, if I'm not mistaken.
so he might get
yeah.
another game out of
Early
him.
in the week too. So I think it's Wednesday, Thursday. It's not too bad.
So who wants to talk about this one? Who wants to talk about Svetch and Dre here? The champ or the regular season champion being taken down.
Yeah, it was a good
Well, I
matchup.
think it was, yeah, it was a
And
good
take it.
matchup. I think it was kind of expected with the Tampa Bay limited games. Um, I think Nick couldn't catch up in goaltending, which is kind of where he lost, as well as grind and whatnot. But he did make a strong comeback. But I think it was little too late.
He tried to. He picked up British on Saturday night, trying to get a start there. I had said it last week on the show, right? Nick has never been more vulnerable than last week because three of his keeper players only had two man games each, right? And it looks like Dan came through, and now he has a date with Le Champion in the finals. I don't know about you
Yeah,
guys,
Nick.
but I don't really want to see a new name on this trophy. So
Yeah,
We'll
Nick
get there.
didn't really get quality starts either from his goaltending. Like he usually has like good quality, and he didn't get any this week, and that that kind of cost him the week. Had he gotten some decent starts, he'd be advancing.
I mean, I will take it. I was hoping if I was gonna win this year, I was hoping I was go through the best. But I got Dan, so I'll try and go through there and hopefully, I just don't want anyone to question my championship. Oh, you didn't even play the best teams. Like, fuck you. I made it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, like,
he's gotta be the best if he made it in the finals, man.
That's what I've been telling everyone, but
Yeah.
So
4 years straight in the finals. It's crazy, man. It's huge.
unheard of in our league, right? So, yeah, I just we didn't.
no,
I was telling some guys
no,
this.
what?
We were drinking one night, and I was telling the guys like, this is what I find. Some of our weaker GMs, this is their issue, is they'll create a plan, but they don't stick to the plan. They deviate from it when something starts going right. Like, no, you gotta build long term, and that way, like you're settled to have like a big stretch, like a competitive window, right? We got GMs like, this is my plan, and like, oh shit's going my way. I'm gonna make a bunch of deals, and you're fucked, and you fucked up your plan. Uh, so that's my advice to other GMs out there: make a plan and stick to it, like a long-term plan. Obviously, things change. Like maybe a guy doesn't turn out how you thought he was going to turn out, and you got to move on from that shit, right? You got to take
Rape allegations affects you.
but you got people out here who are like rebuilding their team completely from scratch, like every year. Boys, like you're never going to win that way. You gotta find what works and kind of solidify that plan.
I feel like
And
you're
speaking of
to
that,
somebody in general.
we saw that with Dan. He finally moved on from Knight,
Yeah.
and look where he is.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Neil.
Hey, man, I did what I had to do to better my team, I guess.
I like that deal for you, to be honest. I like Kaprizov. I think he's a great player. Um, and you know what though? 3 of the GMs here are some of the teams that are already improved, and we haven't even started next year yet. So Travis made that comment. None of the bottom GMs really reached out to him for any of his keeper players to trade their future draft picks. It was all like top teams that reached out to him. Like I would have thought someone like Braden should have reached out to fix his keepers a bit. Like, what's that 2025 draft pick doing for you, buddy? Like, move that and pick up a star player. That's why he joined the chat, because I messaged him like, you need to get in that chat and check out what Travis is saying. And he made a comment that he never followed through.
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity.
He said he did, though. He said he did, but I don't know. I guess it didn't come through.
Yeah, it depends what he offered too, right? Because Travis did say some people were offering like nothing great that would be like, I have to keep this guy, right? Because he's going in, he's like, the 5 keepers are the guys that I can sell for the most. Whoever I can get a deal with, right? He's not going to with these are my keepers. Like, you tell me who you want, and I will keep them and trade them to you. Which I think is a really good way to do that if you're going to do it. Because then
He doesn't know who he wants as his keepers either. That's part of
He's gonna start from scratch. We know he's not gonna be like idle next year. He's gonna move all those picks. It's just how he works. I guess let's start with you, Kyle, buddy. Let's talk about the season a bit here. There's some ups and downs here you want to talk about.
Ups and downs. I mean, like for me personally, like I got off to a bit of a rough start. I didn't have my goaltending wasn't quite in place at the beginning of the season like I thought it was going to be with the whole Carolina situation, and that got me off on the wrong foot. But then I turned it around and then hemmed and hawed. What I did notice this season is that like there's very little room for error this season, right? If you accidentally miss starting your guys, that literally costs some people their entry into the playoffs.
Yeah,
like
O'Brien.
Like missing one day, like, and I feel for him. Because I don't think he's a negligent GM at all. He just nobody like a lot of people didn't know that there's early holiday games on the Monday, and that literally cost him his playoff entry. You know,
You're not
so
thinking about it either because it's not a Canadian holiday, it's an American holiday, right? I think it's
exactly,
what, President's Day or something like that, and just
yeah. So I kind of think between that and a couple of missed starts by Daltrey, those are two teams who should have been in the playoffs this year. And that was like a turning point for me because Daltrey went to sell mode, and I was able to seriously upgrade my keeper base by being able to give like get an amazing deal from Daltrey.
now
Yeah,
who's
but Daltrey,
surprised though that Daltrey missed some starts? Like,
There's no surprise
well,
there, no.
we're not
For
surprised
sure.
there, but Daltrey would have made the playoffs had he not sold to begin with. Let's be
yes,
honest.
yeah,
Yeah,
He drafted well, and for some reason, he decided to sell his players. I feel like Daltrey is like the farm team for the league. You know what I mean? Like he drafts players, and then no, I mean not to shit on him or anything, but it's like he drafts, and then it's like, hey, I'm gonna sell these guys, and it ends up in other people's laps, and then they end up improving, and then trade deadline comes, and he ends up selling, and it's kind of like rinse and repeat, like
you
every
know what's
year.
funny what you're saying? Daltrey drafted so well that we were drunk, and he was so confident that his team was
But
so good. He bets me that my team is better than him. And then he goes and he trades Hill and starts making deals. Like, what are you doing? You're making your team worse.
Yes, exactly. So
Like, I like to know what runs through his mind sometimes, but he's active. It just
yeah,
he trends in the wrong direction more often than not, right? I shouldn't even have been to the finals the one year. Keep
nope.
reminding
we
him.
know, we
Keep
know.
reminding him, like that's why.
The year you didn't win though, right?
It was the year I didn't win.
Yeah. At least that there was no
No, but
asterisk to that
he had no
championship.
business being there though. That's the whole
Oh,
thing.
I
He had
agree.
no business being there.
Four
yeah.
straight, boys. Four straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Oh,
Deal. What
shit.
about you? What's some ups and downs from the season that you thought here? Not necessarily about your team, just in general about the league. Anything that you want to talk about throughout the season?
I don't think I have any downs, but the ups are pretty much the competitiveness of the league. And one big up was the amount of people that decided to sell early, but were still competitive and almost made the playoffs. That was like I don't think we've ever seen that happen. Like what was it,
Not on
four
that
teams,
volume, at least,
you
right?
know? And like especially Kyle, who was kind of like down and out, and then all of a sudden makes a couple of trades here and there, and then like makes it into what were you, seventh place? Yeah,
Yeah,
seventh
seventh
place.
place. Yeah.
So, you know, it was this is pretty nice to see that. So
Something like I really like about that is like the league is so tight in that way. As long as you have a competitive team and you get some wins, you're like, maybe I can turn this around right now and I don't have to wait, right?
yeah,
Um, I don't recommend anyone just blow up their team like constantly, right? That's the Travis method, and he gets deep in the playoffs and then he just kind of
Deep?
he made this semifinals last year.
That's fair.
But then he moved some keeper and he did good with his team. I thought he was a more balanced team at the end of the year than he was at the start of the year. But now, he's blowing it up again. But he's never really built the team how he wanted. But I agree with the competitiveness. I thought that was one of my favorite parts of the season as well. Um, yeah. Anything else to
Yeah.
add,
like
Neil? Anything else you want to
that's
go over?
been what like has it been what 2 or 3 seasons that the playoffs has come down to kind of like the last day, and it's like four teams battling for like the last spot kind of thing.
I At least the
Yeah.
last
I
two
think it's
years, I
been,
feel
or at
like
least yeah, about 2 years or so.
at least
Last
the
2 years
last
have
two.
been nuts.
Yeah. There's always
Yeah. I
like a
remember
little
the
battle, but the last 2 years there's been like four teams trying to get in on the last day.
I think like it was like a couple weeks out, and there was 6 teams tied for that 8th spot,
Yeah,
and that was kind of
Ridiculous.
nuts.
Yeah.
And really, aside from Nick, everyone else in the playoffs, they weren't like out of reach. They weren't like super far ahead, right? Um, Everything was close like throughout the season. And I like that. I like that because that bodes well for the future of the league. Next year, I like to see pretty much 15 teams be that competitive. We all know who the one is.
Unfortunately.
But hopefully, hopefully he
Well,
picks it up and changes his ways here, or unfortunately he'll be removed, right? It just
Yeah.
it'll be better
Uh,
for the league. It sucks when you lose like an original GM, but if that's what we got to do to improve the league, we have a waiting list of people who want in our league. Sean has a buddy, Mark has a buddy, we have a buddy. Like a lot of people want in this league. So if we have to get rid of someone who's not active, I'm all right with it. But I'd like to
Yeah,
give them a fair chance.
Yeah.
yeah, everybody wants a piece of the Caucasaurus.
They do. That's what they want.
I'll
I don't
pass.
want the big
you know,
trophy. Give me the cock.
I'll pass.
Derek's not too active either. Like he has bits and spurts through the season that he is, and he's the only other guy right at the bottom of the standings. Then you have Casey. I think you can blame it kind of to goalies who didn't pan out at all, and then it's really hard to recover from that. So
I think they
um,
will, those goalies. It's just
yeah, it wasn't this season,
he's out
and
there
it was a rough
trying.
season
He's
for him.
making
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's
deals.
active. But Derek and Braden, I think, are kind of both in the same spot here. Like
I agree with you,
there's a
Corey.
reason, like Derek is active to a degree, but there's a reason why they're so low in the standings. Like that's the like directly like direct correlation to that, right? Just how active you are, how part of the, like active you are as free agency, and just
Yeah.
setting your lineup, like it goes a long
Make some
way.
ad drops throughout the season.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Or just like filter out your guys who are injured to actually the IR and the guys who are healthy on your IR back. Like Derek lost a lot of man games just from that alone. Just not even looking at this lineup. But that's his way. He wants to throw $50, but I'd rather more competitive 16-man league than that, to be honest.
I
It
want
will
to
be
be as
harder
competitive as
harder
we
to
can
win.
get it. That's
Yeah.
my goal. Is like I'd love to have 16 ultra competitive GMs, and we just go to battle every year.
Yeah. 15 in Travis.
Yeah, you need someone like Travis. He gets the pot going there when you start selling, and all right, you finally have someone.
Yeah.
Corey, what about you? Any ups downs that you want to discuss?
No, I had a really hot start. Really, I was scared I wasn't going to make the playoffs at the end. There was a pack of people coming behind me. You never know what's going to happen.
Like the whole
Uh,
league.
Yeah, really, like 16, 8 teams behind me there.
They stalled really hard. Like there's 3 teams who like lost the last 3 weeks essentially, and they just like stopped chasing.
That's kind of
I
after
think,
they were selling too, right? So they made the
yeah,
choice to sell, and they just bottomed.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out probably to Dan. You were talking about sticking to a plan. That's a guy who stuck to his plan last season, had a haul of picks going into this season, cut the wire as late as he possibly could on some of those goalies, and just riding hot going into the playoffs. So he did what he had to do, and I don't think we're surprised he's in the finals here. At least I'm not.
I will say something about Dan. Something I'm not trying to put a little jinx on myself here, but when Mark won, Mark went through Nick, Neil, and me.
Oh, same thing.
Dan has
He'd be
gone
going
through Nick
through
and
one,
Neil.
two, three.
Not the same
Yeah,
order, but
yeah.
Dan
He'd be
has
beating
gone
the
through
top
the
three
two
seeds.
competitors to get to the finals that Mark did to get to me in the finals. So
oh wow, yeah, that's a crazy coincidence.
So the trick to making the finals, boys, if you're not Team Ramrod, beat Nick and Neil. I mean, you're gonna have to go through them eventually, right? Because these guys are like perennial playoff teams. They're always there.
Yeah.
You might as well start in the first round and just.
Is this something like Ramona's evil ex-boyfriends? They gotta go through like Shane's ex-boyfriends.
Wow. I don't like that you consider like as exes. Like
Yeah,
I was unaware that we were done.
actively dating. I guess Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie.
That's right. All right, let's do a little draft lottery here, boys. It won't let me move this though, so hold on, because shit is fucked up. No, I don't want that. It won't hide this. How am I gonna do this? Oh. Ah. So I already put the names in, and we're gonna draw. Any predictions here on who's gonna win this?
Oh,
Daltrey.
how many of the picks are traded?
Ah,
It's okay. Let me.
I don't know.
Do we
Nick
know?
Sose has some picks in here and that aren't his, but like
So Domo, I don't think has one, does he?
No.
I know.
no,
Yeah,
Nick has Domos.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So we got
I
Kyle
don't even know
saying
how to, I don't
Daltrey's
even know how to check.
gonna get that first pick.
Neil, are you on it here?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it right now. Give me a second here.
I mean, the actual names of the teams are in here and not who owns their pick.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know.
So whose name is coming out of here?
Oh, we'll see. Oh, yeah, you're right. So I guess we can put a prediction on that, right?
Yeah. It might not be there. They might not have that pick, but it's their draft order.
I don't think we can see who has whose picks.
There's a
I'm
way
gonna
on
go
the
with Mark.
website.
I'm going with Mark.
You going with Mark?
Yeah.
We got a Daltrey and a Mark. Who do you think, Neil? Who's coming out in that first spot?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Domo. Actually,
Domo.
yeah,
After having no picks last year in the draft. That
yeah,
means Sose gets that pick.
yeah. But I know exactly. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's what's
Who do I
gonna
want?
happen.
I'm gonna go do a guy who probably needs something desperately here, because he's just a bad GM. I know with Sean.
Oh,
I was thinking Sean too, but
oh,
yeah.
I
Let's
wasn't
see.
expecting that.
Let's see this draft order here. We got pick number 8 here out of this. There's Domo.
Oh,
Sorry, Domo, but at least you're not drafting the first round anyway, but
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
yeah, take that, Nick. Pick 7. Casey.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a guy who could have used it too. All right, let's see Braden. No, Daltrey.
Watch Braden be number one.
Watch Braden be number 1. He won't even know that he has the first pick. He desperately needs that, but I'm not confident he would make a good choice with it.
Yeah.
Pick 5. Oh, there's Sean. Sorry, Sean. I tried to get you a good pick after how generous you've been to me this season. Pick 4. The dumpster fire. Here goes Mark. Is that all our picks?
Yeah, we're all wrong.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Derek.
We're all way wrong.
It's
So
gonna
who
be
we got
Derek.
left here?
So we have Derek, Braden, and Patches. Patches is still in here.
9th,
Ooh.
15th, and 16th.
There goes Derek.
Derek. Oh,
Oh,
Gonna be Braden.
Braden or
Braden.
Patches?
Gonna be Braden.
I kind of hope it's Patches just because, you know what? Braden, you're never around. Like,
It's
so
gonna be
here we
Braden.
go. It is
oh,
Braden.
There you
Braden.
Braden gets the first pick.
Oh,
oh.
He needs it though.
Does he own his
needs
6?
it.
I don't think he owns his 6.
I don't think he owns it. No, he
No,
traded that.
Derek does, doesn't he?
He
Doesn't
doesn't
Derek?
own his 6.
Is that not Nick that owns that one too? I think Nick has 2.
I think Nick has his 6.
No, I don't think so.
He had it. I think he moved it. He had Braden's because
moved
it
it.
went in the Merz Lickens deal.
Yeah, because it was for the Merzlikins and whatever.
Here, hold on.
Hold on.
Draft picks. Let's see who we got here. Team RKO has 2. Oh, Casey. Does Casey have it? Let's go to
Who
round
has 4?
6. Round 6. Who has Braden's? Daltrey.
Daltrey. Oh,
Daltrey has it.
Daltrey wins
Damn.
it. And Nick does only have Domos.
Daltrey has 4. So he has the potential to have a good team, which means at draft day, guys, let's get him real drunk. He'll trade it all.
And
Yeah,
bet that
exactly.
After
he'll beat
talking trash.
The farm team of the league.
Oh my god.
Love you,
He
Daltrey.
already has he has a good keeper base and he has 4 6 rounders. Jollitry could be a force to be reckoned with next year if he doesn't fuck it up.
The only thing that goes against Daltrey is he loses focus. Like he doesn't pay attention to it. And if he was just like paying attention a little bit every day, he'd be a playoff team.
Yeah, I
I'll
agree.
stop getting him
He
high
normally
there,
does
buddy
really
boy.
well.
Well, he does it on his own. Like he's gonna do that anyway. Don't blame me for that.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just picking on you.
All right, boys, let's talk about it. No one
I
wants
agree,
to talk
though.
about
If he
this.
did focus, I agree he would be like at the top.
He'd be a
For some
contender
reason.
every year if he was
Yeah.
focused. Because he does have
Yeah.
a good hockey sense. He forgets to check his lineup some days. Like,
Yeah, you're right. Or set as goaltender and make
boys,
it to a
everyone
championship
takes a
round.
fucking shit. You got 5 minutes a day to go on your phone and set your lineup. All right, let's
Well,
talk about this, boys. I
when you go
know.
on the app and you set for the week, does it set it for the whole week or
Yeah.
Yeah,
because you have that option, right? Okay.
but if you add or drop somebody, then it's all
Then it
skewed.
might mess up a bit if you add drop.
Okay.
So it's up to you to kind of, if you're making an ad drop, go double check your lineup. Even like the starting goalies, check that, or even check the days because you might have more than enough for a roster. They might have guys that you want on the bench that you want in your lineup, right? So,
Yep.
take your 5 minutes a day, guys, and check it. That's all it takes. Really, all it takes.
Not even.
No,
You're efficient.
boys, I know. We're not going to talk about who you want to win. We're going to talk about who we think is going to win. Because we all know no one wants Team Ramrod to win. So we don't even have to talk about that. But I must say, I feed off your anger, guys. Like, keep it coming. Let's talk about who you think is going to win. Don't follow your heart. Use your brain here, boys.
Listen to this guy.
Kyle, who do you got here?
I got the champion, of course. I mean, how can you argue 4th year in a row in the finals? I think you have favorable matchups this week. You have a lot of man games with powerful players. There's really no reason why you shouldn't win it this week. But hey, stranger things have happened. But my money's on you.
Won. Mark had no business winning, and stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
I appreciate your support. Neil, who you got? There's no wrong answer, right? It's
go with my heart or go with my mind.
we all know what your heart says. Your heart says fuck Team Ramrod. But at least we know, guys, when I win, I'm gonna troll you guys a bit. So I'm gonna spend the money. This money will go on some good stuff for you guys.
All right, thank you. We appreciate that, man. We truly do.
I gotta be the villain.
$100 for runner up.
2.
I would have went with Dan, but seeing the man games, what was it, 13 man games or something like that?
No, he
So
set
what
his
is it?
lineup. He tried to trick you there.
Oh, okay.
I went in, I always go in. I know that little trick. I see a couple GMs using it, so I always go through their roster and count the guys on the bench, how many games they have to see the real difference, numbers I'm working with. The trick doesn't work on me, Dan.
All right.
It's 2 good teams.
I'm gonna go with Dan.
Yeah.
I just
You
feel
got-
like
yeah, you got
I like the
underdog.
underdog story. I like the underdog story.
It's all right.
No offense to you.
None take.
I mean,
I
you got
feed
a
off
good
your
team.
hatred.
You've been to the finals. You went to the finals 3 straight years, or what is it, 4 straight years?
4. This is the 4th.
And you're 2-1. Maybe it could be 3-1. I can't deny that, but I still like the underdog. Still like the underdog story. So I'm gonna go with Dan.
Yeah. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I got Dan as well. I think you have the better keeper forwards. Obviously, with McDavid Matthews, you can't deny that. But I think he has the better depth players that go all the way through his lineup. Uh, I know he has the gritty players. He's gonna beat you in blocks. Probably gonna take you in hits. He did have an amazing week last week, but I feel like that was more of a one-off. So we'll see how you do this week. And his goalies have some good matchups this week. You'll both have a lot of games and nets. Actually, it's a pretty good week for that. But it'll be interesting to see what it comes down to at the end. I think you need to have a spectacular week to beat him.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think I already know he's going to outgrind me, so I said fuck it with the grind, and I'm going all offense and goalies, and fuck you, because that's how I'm going to take the categories. I think my goalies are better in general, because Hellebuck is a Vezina candidate this year. Thanks, Sean. And I think
He's
my
been
forward.
struggling though.
What's that?
He's been struggling though. Hellebuck.
Yeah. He
As of
slowed
late,
down a
last
bit.
couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, but he needed a break, and they started Brossois tonight for that. But I have Brossois.
Defensive team.
Very good defensive team. I think my goalies are generally better. And I think my forwards are just going to outscore his, and I'll take those categories. My guys can throw some hits, but I know his team is built to grind. But I think my team's just gonna come out and take it to him this week. We made a pretty distasteful joke earlier, me and Kyle, but it stands true, Kyle. I'm that fucking boat and he's that bridge. I'm fucking taking him down. I'm running right through him.
Oh wow.
Oh, the power's out in that head.
Come on, man. A little bit too early for that, bro.
No, it's been like what, a week already. Come on.
Come on, man. Tell that to the families that lost their people, man. Jesus.
No,
Dark,
Oh, man.
dark times, dark times.
dark times. I like to
Yeah.
make dark. I have dark humor, so take it for what it is. But Le Champion, he's
so
coming
good.
back this year. Gonna be a 3-time champion. And I'm gonna get a new shirt made for you boys. I have other ideas. You know, I might need some email addresses from everyone to send them a little something, but see how that pans out here.
As long as you're not sending herpes.
Not sending that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That only rides on the golden tip.
But honestly, it was a good season. I do wish Dan luck. I talked to him earlier. I talked to him even yesterday whenever I knew it was final. Like I told him, like, good luck this week. You know, I do respect this team. I respect most teams in this league. Most, but you know, I think it's gonna be a fun week. I don't know if anyone's up for this, but I know we talked about it before. I think there was some loose plans to do this, is to get together on Sunday and kind of watch some hockey and have a couple drinks and see how it all plays out. So if anyone's interested, reach out and let's crown our champion in person. Except if Dan wins, he's not here, but like, we could celebrate in his honor should that unlikely event happen.
Yeah, we could do elite at the same time because we're gonna be crowning a new champion in elite.
Yeah, I mean, new champion. We've only had one champion.
New champion.
Yeah, he's new.
Listen to Kyle. Like piggybacking on
We told him I told him we'd give him a couple of minutes to talk like that, so he's got to bring it up.
Okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
What I do want to know is, well, have you or Dan thought of any names for the loser of the league?
Ooh.
Oh, not yet. I'm not focused on that yet.
No, I know. I'm just reminding.
I'm gonna think of
It's gonna be
something good
interesting to see.
though.
I think there's one obvious one.
Do tell, Kyle. Do tell.
Yeah, let's hear.
The Braden bye week.
Oh,
That's so cheesy though.
I was
Yeah.
thinking
Call that anyway. We're gonna call him that anyway. Like,
The Caucasaurus.
yeah. Well, we're pretty much out of time, guys. Less than a minute left here. I do want to thank you guys for joining me today and for the draft lottery. Just talking about the season a bit. I would like to talk hockey more often with people, right? I just love this league a lot, right? I have so much fun running it. and playing in it with everyone. So I want to thank you guys for all participating. My wallet thanks you too every year, at least in recent years. Um, you know, most of this panel knows what it takes to be a champion. Sorry, Kyle, but
No.
Ooh,
in this league at least.
yeah, in
Yeah.
this one. We
But
don't forget.
before we run out of time here, because it's less than a minute, I want to say good luck. No, I don't. Fuck you, Dan. You're done. But thanks a lot for joining me,
All
guys.
right. No
Have a good
problem.
night.
Good
Good
night.
night.